Hello, hello, Rhoda here. Welcome to my craft room. Today we're working on more of the school journal. I'm going to do some die cuts today, and we're going to get some pieces and parts together. We might do some clusters. So we've got a few little things on the table. All right, so this is out of my Sneaky Peek book. It's one of my memories. I like this little guy, and he looked like he was holding on to his bike. This is actually a little stamp that I've got. I have another stamp set that has Need a Lift, Let's Ride. So it all worked in there together. Now the tape that you're seeing is actually the tape. I did what do you call that? Two-way tape. I don't know. People have different names for this stuff, but it's where you put it on something, you pull it off, and then you put it down. That's what I was using back then. And so it left a mark. It came through and left a mark. So if you can use wet glue, do it. I suggest do it. If you don't want to see, because this is the very first journal I did in 2021. So if you don't want to see, what is it, 5 years down the road, for 3 years down the road. I can't count. I need to go back to school. But yeah, it's 3 years. It's already left a mark. I can't get rid of it. All right. So in the pocket, I had a memory. This had a little tricycle on it. I actually used that something in the same concept in the last video. I had a school desk in there. But this was December 1969. It was me and my sister. She's on her blue bike, which we shared later on. And then they got me a tricycle. And I was 4 years old. 6 years old. I really, really need to learn how to count. Yes, I was born in 64. Maybe I was 5 years old. Wow, let's go away from that right now. So anyhow, I thought the interesting part, I made this a gusseted pocket, so I have to watch how to get by the two little side pieces. But I really like how I did the top. I did 5 eyelets that I have, these little flower eyelets, and then I wound the ribbon through there. I tucked it through one end, tucked it through another, and left 2 little pieces in the sky. So, all right, let me get away from that math. Oh my head hurts. My head hurts. All right, I've got this piece of poster construction paper. I call it something else. And my vault picture show, I'm using this piece today and that piece. So I have these 3 images up here. Knock it all down, Rhoda. These 3 little images that I want to take and cut out the big slide for those. And so, yeah, that's the slide. And then I want to do the school bus, which that's where these little tiny people come from, way over here. I don't even know if you're going to be able to see her. She's about as tiny as you get. I see these little kids riding the bus, you know. I might be able to use their little heads. I don't know. He's small enough to fit in there. They're too big. So these 2 little guys, I might have them somewhere else in the journal because they're, you know, they're too big for this. All right. So what we're going to do is just cut off a strip here, probably about this wide. I've got something on my blade there, probably from the last one, last video. And we're going to go up through here like this. And I got a feeling that I'm not going to get 1, 2. Oh, I might get 3. I might get them all out of that one shot. Okay. So, let me bring over my die cut machine. And we will get to it. Now, the pieces, I understand here, we're going to be cutting 3 of these out, and they're just going to be the outside frame. Then this was supposed to go around the picture. But see, these pictures aren't quite big enough. So I'm probably going to need another piece of that construction paper so I can glue my people down to it and then cut them out, because they will go in here after that part. So, all right. Let me go ahead and get this going. Get my plates over here. My well-worn plates. I've had them since the very beginning. And I'm going to go ahead and just cut 2 of these out since I'm going to have the paper here. And just go ahead and do it, because I'll have the room. Who knows? I might be able to use that other piece somewhere else. Now this is a 6-inch Spellbinder die cut machine. Oh my goodness. Okay, there it is. There's one anyway. And then what I usually will do, I got those little black things all over the place. What I'll usually do is I'll take my other plate and I'll just scrub it like that. And get those extra pieces off. Go in again. And take this other side off. I didn't go too far, did I? No. Alright. Yeah, I've got one of these die cuts machines because, you know, I was into everything. I was experimenting a lot when I first got into all these things. And how do you how do you get that out? Oh, right there. Usually they give you a little place to push that out. There we go. But yeah, I was getting into everything back then and checking it out. And I'm going to have to tap every one of those out. And I just wanted to explore and figure things out. And I understand there's a lot of you that are on a budget and everything, and they need to watch what they spend. But, you know, you might ask for certain things for your birthday, and you could substitute. There's always substitution. And, oh, maybe I could use these. I don't have to pick out another piece. Yeah. There we go. All right. I got it all thought out. But yes, you have different things, like, you know, somebody knows you're into scrapbooking or, you know, crafting, paper crafting. Ask for something for your birthday or for Christmas, or maybe even a gift certificate for, you know, certain occasions, and save them up. And then when you can shop online, get a few things. I mean, I'm lucky because, you know, I'm not rich. But I make money at different things to where I'll put that back in, like, you know, I'm making money at the shop, and I can put that back into something else that I'm going to make for a future sale. So I'll look at it like that. Plus, I've been buying things that I know that I'll use, and I try not to go over. I don't have one of those craft rooms that's got so much stuff in it, I can't even remember. It's bad enough, you know, that I can't remember what I got now. So, yeah, you don't need a lot of stuff. Just a few particular things. And I know there's videos out there that tell you what are the items that are great to have in your craft room. I will tell you a few right now that I would suggest having. A script stamp of some type is great to have. Depending on what size it is, what language it is, it doesn't matter if it's unreadable. Who cares? It gives you it gives you a background, and that's what you're mostly wanting. Okay, while we're in here, I'm going to take this, which is a silver foil, and this little die set here, which was space, and we're going to try to make my globe. I mentioned that in the last video. And I'm going to take all these little scrappies that I've got here at the front, and we're going to see what we can do with them. Because I told you I was going to take the circle to cut out my earth. I probably need to do that out of probably black, green, I don't know. I know I'm going to use, I think, no, it's this one. It's one of these stars I know I need. I don't know if you can see that. I think you can. And this one, the rings for Saturn. I knew I needed those. So I think that's the 3 pieces we're going to use. And I think I'm just going to make it all silver. Why not? Will that go on here? Oh, yeah. Might need a little bit of washi tape to hold it. All right, so number 1, script stamp. My next thing I would suggest that would get you a long way is at least 1 ink pad. If you're an inker, if you like to do inking, then at least 1. Vintage Photo would be the one I would pick above all others, because you are getting, you know, a bunch of different, you got a 1 shade that does vintage and antique, and it's enough of a dark brown to give you a burnished edge or a burnt crispy edge look. And it also is a warm tone as well. It's not a cold tone. It is warm. And if you get oxide, you can also get the great effect with the water addition as well. Well, yeah, you know, I do like my ink though. And you do not get that oxide that turns blue or of some other color. So I would suggest a Vintage Photo ink and not oxide. Yeah, that's what that's what I'd suggest. All right. The third thing I would suggest is, unless you want to, you know, wait and wait and wait, to go and get a good glue. When I first started out, I was using Elmer's glue. And I will tell you what, I had all my Harlequin books or whatever over there, holding things down right and left overnight, sometimes 2, it just depended, to have that stuff dry. Where I could go, like when I was doing cards especially. So I was, when I got the Barely Arts glue for the first time, I was so amazed with that stuff. It was a game changer. Oh my gosh. It is a little expensive. So my suggestion there is, I've been seeing other types of glue, and I have yet to use them. Now, Fabric Tack is a little pricey, but it goes a long way. But I also have this other glue. Let me grab it. I've yet to use it, but I might start. Here it is. It's Turbo Tacky Glue by Eileen's. I don't know that it was like $3, $4. It may have been $5, if that. But it's got a small tip on it. I don't even think I've opened anything on it. But you can cut a very small tip open on it and get a good result. I'll tell you what. Oh, and I'm going to cut this off, and we're going to test something and see how fast it is. Let me see if I can cut this without cutting a lot off of it. Ooh, okay. I cut the where did it go? I cut the various little bit of the tip off there, because it does have a pretty wide mouth on it. Now, if you want fine detail work, you have to get these that come with the Barely Arts or the Art Glitter. But here's one project I need to set aside and let it start drying. This is the little pieces. I think Tommy gave them to me. But they're like weekly and weekly record and yearly record and all that. I'm going to make a little paper pad with them. So what I wanted to do, I think it's kind of crooked. What I wanted to do was to actually put this glue on the very top. And this is how a lot of people will make their own like little rip-off pad. Well, come on, glue. Did I cut enough out of there? It's not moving. Let me see if I can see through it. Oh, well, it's there. It's maybe I didn't cut enough off. All right. What in the world? It's there. It's right there. I'm going to go ahead and cut just a tad more off. I have no idea. Well, dummy me, there was something actually down in there. I think it was in the little nose, and I just didn't notice it. So, yeah, you rub a little bit of glue on here, and that's all we're going to use. I'm going to spread it out just a little bit, and I'm going to set that to the side, and we're going to see how quick that dries. I'm going to put my little lid on it, and we're going to see. I'm going to set it up in here where it's tilted up. Okay. So, give that a test drive. Because I've been curious. Alright, I think that's... Oh, I do have I got to emboss some wood. Hold on. Okay, now the way I made this, like I said, this is the ring around Saturn. The big circle, I didn't use the cutout of the Earth because I had that. And then the small star, which is inside there. So what I need to do is, usually your globe is about like that. And what I'm going to do is probably draw a line, at least like right there and right there. And that's the part we're going to cut, because, yeah, like that. And then we're going to circle around and pick up the rest of that. Now see, this is a thing where I'm showing you how to use something that was for one purpose, and I can turn it into making it something else. So that is another thing you want to look for when purchasing any of these items that are expensive or seems to be, you know, a lot of payout to you. Figure out how many usages you can get out of that one item, and it will pay for itself then. I mean, you're going to have all kinds of different things you can do with it. You're going to be using it all the time, so it's going to justify the means. Now here I'm going to glue my earth down. I got a little bit of nibs or something sticking out there. And I'm going to come in here and I'm going to ink this outside edge so that you can't see the white. And we're going to glue that down. Okay. I just left this up here because I've got to do that that heat emboss, or embossing, not heat embossing. I guess it would be considered dry embossing. Alright, so we got that. Now we're going to put this across it. And it's always at an angle. And I think it's going to be just this part that's going to be glued. Right there. It's kind of going like that. I believe. I guess there would have been another way I could have done. Well, that's going to all get glued down. That's right. Alright. So there's that now. Part of my globe is done. And then that... Oh, I threw that little piece away, didn't I? Well, rats. Let me find it. This little piece right here, if I can get it to come up here, I think that we could make into a stand. I think that's how I did it. So that actually came out of the middle of the globe. So I think what I did is I cut it in half, and then I put my I put it down here somewhere with my little star stand like that somehow. Is that how I did it? Maybe I did it that way. It's been a while. It's been a while. All right, well, we're going to do it like that. Let's see if that's going to give me a good enough look. And then I'm going to do the very tip right underneath of the globe. All right, like that. I think that's it. That star thing doesn't quite look right, but I think it's as close as I can get right now. I may have to rethink it. Okay, so that's done. Now we need to get in here and do something with some paper so we can make our wood grain. So let me see. All right, I need to get in here and finish this off first. I did pull a piece of that foil over here for the bus with the little kids, and I need to finish these, what is this, a slide? The slide pieces. So I'm going to go ahead and glue these little people on there, and then I'm going to cut them out. And then we'll go about our business here. I'll go ahead and do one and kind of show you what I mean. Let me do it like that. Just kind of dead center it as well as you can. It was the edges on the top and the bottom that I was missing. Oh, I need to get Fido. Almost cut the dog off. All right, and then I got the girls. Get them on here. Okay, and then the little boy. I'm mostly going to do him on the right side, or he's leaning one way. Yeah, like that. Got a little bit of gravy coming out. All right, now I'm going to get around here and trim all these out. Okay, so that's what these will look like once I've got them glued down. So they're ready to go up here. I'll probably put them in collages or something. Now, these little people, I'm trying to figure out the best way to do this. I'm going to lose the dog. Maybe I can use that little image somewhere else. I don't know. But this little girl, I'm going to stick her. Maybe I'll stick her right there. So I need to put some glue right across her neck, I guess. And the rest of her will get cut off. I guess that's the way to do it. Okay, let's try it. Of course, none of them are facing, you know, forward. Couldn't have it. Couldn't have it that way, could I? And then I got this little girl playing with the ball. And I guess she's going to be the same thing. I'm going to cut everybody off at their shoulders. And that's the part I'm hoping will hold them in there. I got a 2-for-1 with this one. Gonna see if I can get his little head out. Okay. Ooh. Go across like that. All right, let's get rid of the bodies. The bodies. Okay. Do this. Yeah, he looks like he's looking backward. And then this little girl. Yeah, you can see how fast I'm working with this glue. That's what I mean about having a good glue. Oh, Elmer's was too wet. Everything was so wet, it bowed up on me. And so I finally just did what I could do here and get me more expensive glue. Let's see, where, oh, took him with me. So I said a script stamp, good glue. Can't remember what else I told you. Oh, ink. So definitely have a good ink, or at least one ink that you can do special effects and things with. All right, I'm going to glue on the outside edge of this, and we're going to glue it down to the piece of silver. Let's see, what else can I think of? That, I guess a bone folder. Even if you didn't have a scoreboard, which you don't need, you can just use a ruler. You might want a bone folder of some sort to really push down and get a good crease. Plus it helps burnish, your glue down. That is another good aspect of having a bone folder. All right, so I'm going to put this down right here and give myself a little bit of room on each side. Yep, I guess this could be my top 5. I got to find a third or a fifth thing. I guess maybe a ruler. I mean, the Tim Holtz ruler I love because it's got that one middle. It's got that one number in the middle, and you can use that when you're doing signatures or whatever, but it's not all important. I mean, I'm trying to, I'll think about that last thing that y'all just definitely need to have. Maybe tweezers is going to be it. Because I'm telling you, I love my little tweezers. Yeah, I don't, I don't think that quite looks right on the bottom. Okay, I'm going to also get this out of the way before we get to the embossing. I'm using my VersaFine pigment ink for fine details, Onyx Black. And we're going to do some of these light bulbs that I mentioned I wanted to do. And I'm just going to do several. I don't know where they'll go. If I don't use them all, I'll cut them up and put them in my little tray up above me. Let's see if I can do one here. Yep. Maybe one more. There. So not quite getting it on that one side, but that's okay. All right, so we're going to get a stamp block up here. And we're going to go ahead and do a couple, at least this one. This one looks like the light bulbs that you used to have hanging in schools. Really big. Maybe I'm supposed to be doing it this way. All right, let's do this one at least. Oh, that's a nice one. Okay. I'm going to do it this way so I can get more on here. I don't think I need that little one. That looks like something that would go in a truck. You know? Or a flashlight. I don't think we need that one. Alright, so this one, I'm going to stamp it off on the back because nobody's going to see it. Just to save my paper. And this was, did I mention that was Curiosity Shop? I also want to do a typewriter. I don't know that I'm going to need one, but I want one. Okay. Let's see if we can get all that on here. Yeah. I'm whipping on the end real quick. There we go. And I think I got just enough room for a couple of bus tickets. Yeah. Okay. Yep. Stamp that off. Stamp this off. All right. And then we have, like I say, the bus ticket. A little too long. I'll go on this one. Now, if you get into doing stamping, you know, that's a whole other ball game. You're going to need a stamp block or a few. Sometimes you can get like a set of 3, a set of 4. Now, if those become too expensive or too hard to find, I've heard some people using like the cutting, what would you call those? The pieces in quilting. Let me reach behind me. Like this, like a quilting square. So if you already have something like this, I mean, you know, it's a handy square. And this one is a 6-inch size, 6-inch by 6-inch. That will also hold your stamps. See? And you can stamp with it. So you could get these that may be a little cheaper. They're a little thinner, but sometimes you have bigger stamps that you just can't get on these smaller blocks. That's kind of why I went and got the, what was it, the shattered stamp, because it came with that big old holder for it. So you got like a 2-for-1 there. All right, I got one more ticket. Now there are die cuts for these tickets as well, but I don't think I'm going to worry about that. I'm going to probably glue them to something a little more sturdy, a piece of cardstock, so they're a little stronger. All right. Well, I got all that out of the way. Let me clean up. Oh, if I didn't mention it, these two came from Ticket Booth. Okay, so I've got a piece of my watercolor cardstock, Grumbacher. It's a 140 pound, and we're going to spray that. This will fit right inside of my lumber embossing folder. So, and that one is 662718, and it's a 3D, so it's a deep one. So we gotta spray it, or usually do it while it's damp and stick it through the die cut machine, and it keeps it from cracking, or it helps it to not crack. And this walnut stain, first I use gathered twigs. I don't have any more vintage photo. I don't use it all. I might want to put a few more shades in here. Let me find some black and white. Well, I brought out my black soot spray stain. I'll give it a few dark spots. And then I'm going to put a little hickory smoke on there. And it's an oxide as well as the first two. And it gives you a little bit of light. I don't know if it'll show up that well. Ooh, there it did. I'm trying to get little speckles. I'll probably add a little bit more water to it as well. Oof, I think I added too much water. All right, I'm going to hit it with the heat gun for a second. I doubt if you need to hear that. Okay, and I've got this mixture of just speckles, I guess. It's got some brown, and I think I had leftover vintage photo, but it's warming that back up. It didn't look too woody there for a little bit. So yeah, I think that helps it. Now I'm going to dry it again. Alright, I wasn't crazy about how it turned out. I had too many oxides. And see, they always turn everything so milky. I don't like that. And it might be a little wet still. I don't know. But we're going to mist it just real lightly. I can't get anything to come out of it. And it's going to help this not crack. So, what we're going to do is I always have, when I do embossing, especially with these deep plates, I can only use my base and this rubber mat. So that's how we're going to do it. And I got to make it go through. It takes a little bit. And see, it usually rolls off of it as it goes through, but I'm okay with that. Oh, goodness. Okay, there we go. It always takes a lot. Let's see what we got. Ooh, I don't know if I was in there deep enough. I think I need to go over this with some scorched timber. Alright, I'm pulling my scorched timber ink out, and we're going to rub that across here and see if that'll pull out. Oh yeah, see, the oxide, the chalky oxide stays in the creases, and then you can pull another color over top of it and save it. I mean, it looks like it was no use, but no, you can save it. I'll hold it up here in a second. Well, let me hold it up now and you can kind of see. See, here's all the chalk, but then you can see where the dark is picking up right here. And my light flash, I don't know what was going on. There's a few knots on this. It's cool. Oop, there we go. I know the little bit of the liquid will probably be trying to react to the oxide, or it'll reinstate the oxide, but I think it's doing it. It might be a little on the dark side. I wanted more brown, but oh well, it's still in my color scheme. I need to get some more sprays. That's all there is to it. Alright, so we're going to make a page. Now I wanted to show you this. It's been a while, but it's dry. It's still a little white inside, but it's dry on the top. So it dries within about 20 minutes, 15. It could have been less. I put a big pile on top though. So it's made it into like a little rip-off pad. So that's ready to go. And I gotta find my page in here that I wanted to do the blackboard on. Chalkboard, whatever it's called. And it's going to be on this page right here. So let me put that back together like that and stick it to the side. And we're going to put a piece of it right here. And I'm going to just go up through here and cut it just about right here. And it's got like a pull off, kind of like the shelf liner, I guess you'd call it. So we're going to go ahead and do that. I might save that pull off and do me some tape on it. You know, the cookie tape that everybody's doing now? Because, yeah, I'm going to experiment. I'll keep that. Now I probably want to put this down like this. Alright, and then we're going to take our wood, and let me get my cutter. And we're going to go in here and we're going to cut some slivers off of it. Not exactly a sliver, but maybe 3/4 of an inch. Maybe less. We're going to do 1/2 of an inch. I think that's what this is right here. Yeah, I think that's what that is. So I could probably tuck it in this way. I need 4 of them. And then I got me a little extra to do something else with in here. Maybe I need to make a shelf or something along those lines. Okay, come out of there. There we go. Stick that up here. Got so many piles. Pieces and piles. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and use this. Stick it over there. Use some scorched timber on the edges. I wondered about taking that one stencil I've got and stamping it in white onto the background here. So let's see. Oop, I did that one already. Okay. There. Now, let's see what we can do. Because I'm going to put these on here like this. That's dark. Oh well, that's all I got to work with. I have a little bit of brown on that piece. This is the one that I wondered before I put the edges on.